What's up, Days fans? We are here with a special guest to give you a full rundown of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. You know him, you love him. He's Mr. Bryan Datillo, and he's with us coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of NBC's award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my usual gaggle of gals. To my far left, we have
Michael Mattis.
And of course, we have the ever so beautiful
Tami Goveia.
And for the first time with us here at DISHIN Days,
DISHIN Virgin.
longtime friend and actor extraordinaire, Bryan Datillo.
Thank you.
Brian.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Finally made it.
You are
Yes.
here.
I finally made it. There's no one I'd rather pop my cherry with than you.
Oh, thank you. Since you popped my cherry
Buzz
so
on
many
that.
long ago.
The buzz begins. The buzz begins.
Do you realize, like, I first met you when I was 16?
I saw that picture recently, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. You were so innocent looking, man. You were so innocent. I felt like, oh, this little guy. Look at him, so cute. And you had little glasses on.
Yeah.
I did.
You had little glasses
And a
on.
little-
You're all bashful and shy. And I was like, come here, man.
I
And you're
was.
like,
I was.
don't touch me.
And now look, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So many years later, some of us still look the same.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
You do.
You do.
You don't age.
I age.
I know.
I check
No,
the
you
gray. Check.
No.
Don't adjust the dial. It's the gray is in the house.
Oh, well, I have one strand. It's like right here.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
That's called style.
Well, if you're watching us live, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _DISHIN Days on Twitter. The @ is implied. And of course, make sure you go to iTunes, like us and follow us there. Give us 5 stars and a comment. You may end up being fan of the week. All right. I'm going to cut that short because, you know,
Yeah.
I'll go on and on like it's the church announcement.
Am I supposed to be wearing my headphones like you?
No, I have a hat on, so I kept it like
Kango,
this.
Mr. Sophisticated.
I didn't want to take off my hat because I didn't do my hair today.
Then I'm going up. I'm going up top.
Yeah. All right. So, what did we think about this week of days? First of all, it was a sad Tuesday because someone left Salem this week.
Who left?
What?
Oh, did I leave?
You left.
Man.
You left. You're
I
gone.
hate it when I leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Allie
actually.
will be fine. Just leave her alone. She's fine.
good.
Just
Right.
stay. She's fine.
You can call her. You can FaceTime her. Like, you don't
Exactly.
actually have to
Come
leave
on.
Salem.
Yeah, no, I had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to leave.
It was actually a very tender moment when you left. I was like, oh, like it's in the
They
square.
gave him a nice exit, yeah.
Yeah, you had
They
your
did.
suitcase.
They did. Ron did a great job with that.
There was
Yeah.
a period of time on the show where they wouldn't give people, like, I felt like a proper exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just
It
be
was
like
just
one
abrupt
episode they
and-
were there, the next episode they were
They were
gone.
gone.
and
Or they
then-
went up the stairs and then never came back down.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a bad one. You don't want to do that.
Or they go up the stairs and they come back down 15 years older.
Yeah.
That's always a thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was a very poignant exit. So
Yes. Well, let's dish on that and more. It's now time to start
DISHIN Days.
Brian, will you ever
Please.
do the honors of flipping our hourglass here?
Flip it?
Yeah.
Flip it.
Turn it?
Flip it. Yeah.
Flip the reciprocal?
Oh.
Yay!
Cheeky check. Cheeky
Set
check.
it and forget it. All right. So throughout the show,
Oh, it works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fully functional
For real.
hourglass. So throughout the show, we're gonna do our usual recap of the storylines, and then we'll cut to Brian and get his take on it because we love the gift of gab, and that's what Brian does.
I have a take.
Yeah.
I have a take on things.
So let's start with the first storyline with Will, Sonny, and Leo.
Ooh, that's juicy, huh? Leo
Yeah.
does good.
Yeah.
Leo's
He's
good. at-
fabulous,
at-
but I cannot believe that no one had the cojones to stop the wedding.
I know, even
Nobody,
Victor.
not even
Victor just
Victor.
sat there and was like, all right, let's go.
It's like, oh, well, they're not going to go through with this. They're not.
There's a quinones shortage in Salem, but that's
little bit.
okay. You know, I mean,
I think that's a
bit.
hashtag.
it also makes the people watching go, "Why aren't they stopping this?
Well, yeah,
Please just
exactly.
stop
Like,
it."
it's good that we're having that reaction.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. We
But-
want you to have that reaction.
But I feel like Leo has Sonny by the Quiones. Did I say that right?
I mean, it is
Does
kind
Sonny
of a,
have any?
Not at the moment.
That's my
No.
question.
They are all shriveled up and like have disappeared because
Shrunk.
Leo's running the show because you know it's typical soap where he's being blackmailed obviously and he has to go through with it. Even Victor, when Victor walked in, I thought for sure something was gonna happen.
When Victor came in, I was like, oh, this is done.
Yeah.
But no.
But Victor was like, nope, you just gotta go through it. So
I saw when the bomb dropped that Kate had something to do with it. And
Oh,
the
yes.
dudes were like, what?
yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Kate? Up to no good? Playing both sides? Kate?
She's such an amazing character, though.
Stop it.
meddling again.
I was at home.
Meddling
I
and
was at
getting-
home. I threw something at the TV. I said, I knew it. I knew it.
And she
I know
gets
her.
away with it. Like, she's so smooth. Like, she does that and gets away with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, it's the cause.
Yeah,
Yes.
True.
yeah,
Pause
cause
for the
effect.
cause. The Blue Streak fans.
yeah.
The Blue
fans,
Streak is just talented woman.
I think the best thing about this whole wedding was Sheila.
Yeah.
She was good.
so
She's
funny.
always
She's
good.
so funny.
the
So
best.
funny.
But Leo's suit was right up there.
Leo
Leo's
went
suit was
That
obnoxious.
suit was.
But
But
how
it
was
was
she
him.
ordained? How did she get ordained to do the
Online.
ceremony?
She was
Online.
she went
from
online.
online.
last.
That's-
You know, I'm ordained online.
What?
I haven't done a wedding yet, but I went online and got ordained.
So,
Yeah,
so that means you could do a wedding now
I can do a wedding
legally.
legally.
You could charge legally now.
Yep. Yep.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I thought it was gonna be a side hustle. I think I'm funny and entertaining, just like Sheila was. So I was like, why not? I mean, she did a great job.
Anything online. You can
Silence.
do anything online.
Yeah.
It's all
yeah.
it's all out there.
That's how my sister got ordained to perform my wedding. She went online. It was like
There you
the
go.
Church of Internet Ministries or something.
Yeah.
But state of California, legit.
Accepts it. Boom.
Done.
And that's what Sheila was like, all right, if Abe is not gonna do it, I'll take it, but it's gonna cost this much and I need to be
Exactly.
paid in cash. And y'all are taking too long, so I'm gonna need this overtime.
Time is money.
Yeah, that whole wedding was
With
I
her
don't-
cards.
yeah.
Her little flashcards.
It was legit funny. It wasn't like forced or anything. It was just like a great comedy to like break the tension of what was going on.
Yeah. And I felt like everyone played their role well. Like Adrian was really like, nope, I'm not having this. But Justin was like, you just got to go through with it. Victor and his like wisecracks, and then the flubs between Sheila trying to like get the right order of what to say.
Yeah.
With the cards, flipping the
Yes.
cards.
So great.
Sunny standing there like, oh my God, my life is
Just, like, can't do anything,
over.
yeah.
And then Leo standing there like the blushing groom as he should.
Right.
Yeah, his blush was green. Money, 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 money.
Yeah. And then poor Will at the bar.
I know, Will at the bar.
What advice would you have given your son during this time of need if you hadn't left Salem for
Yeah, because
Italy?
Lucas didn't know. He didn't tell.
Besides, have a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have said that.
It's hard. I mean, he's like slightly losing the love of his life for a second. He's losing the love of his life for a second.
Yeah, no, I always thought that it was, with Will, I don't know. I always thought that someone just had to wake him up and say, maybe Sonny isn't the one.
Oh.
But I never really.
Don't let the Wilson fans.
I
feel that.
know.
I did not. Well, I just saying, because there's been so much turmoil,
Yeah.
and setbacks,
Yeah.
and
Was it meant
obstacles.
to be?
Should it be this hard?
it
Yeah.
should-
Like that?
Love
Okay.
is, it's got to be a little easier sometimes.
But it's
a soap opera.
It
Right.
is. And it's
And in
Salem.
When it's easy, it's boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting though if someone came in just so right for Will that it made everything else look kind of like.
Terrence.
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 Where are you from? What is the background of your character?
So I would be, you knew I was gonna know. So I would be Maxine's son. You remember Maxine who played the nurse?
Yeah.
So I would be her son, and even though she's not on the show, I would still come in and work in the hospital, and that would be my backstory. And then I would also be among the gays and be like, oh hey Will, how you doing? And then him and I could have a thing together, and then you could come back and totally approve the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Done.
And you could just be the ear that understands everything and accepts him and is always there for him, and it's always like how it should be.
You just
know,
made
when you're
Ron's
with somebody.
job so much easier.
Let's do this.
I mean, I'm
So
just
easy.
saying, that's what we're here
And
for.
then Lucas gets hurt, and he needs
Medical attention.
medical attention. And he needs a new elbow, and a transplant.
And I do it, and I save your life, which makes Will fall in love with me even more.
Yes,
Wow,
see
done.
that? Oh man.
I'm hearing daytime Emmys.
Boom.
Yes, I'm hearing
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah.
hearing
Oh my
it.
God, can you imagine?
Oh my God, we could be like a dynamic duo.
We could be the best duo ever.
Like it's almost like you're the new Kate, but you're Lucas.
Okay, I always thought I should be more diabolical, more
Yeah.
conniving, and more in the know of manipulation.
Manipulation.
Little meddling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Done.
We could be like the old Sammy and Lucas, where we like team up.
So great.
Oh.
That's when I started. That's when I started watching when you guys were like young and trying to break up everybody.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
yeah, it was fun.
Good stuff.
That was really.
Those were the days. All right, so we're done with that. Brady, Chloe, Eric, Sarah, Maggie, Holly, Nicole, Kayla, like all of them are involved in this.
Everybody wants this little girl,
Yeah.
and Maggie is the gatekeeper or the mediator.
But Maggie gave her blessing to Eric to raise Holly.
Right.
And then all of a sudden this letter appeared that Nicole wants Holly to be raised by Chloe. And now Brady is all like, yeah, sure. But Eric is looking at him like, dude, you heard Nicole say that she wanted me to raise Holly. Oh, no, that was just out of desperation. I'm like, oh,
What?
Brady.
I know. I wanted nothing to do with him after he said that. Like, that is just so wrong.
Brady said that.
Yeah.
I think Eric should have Holly.
Brian, who do you think would, Chloe or Eric?
Not Chloe. She's always busy traveling the world, doing some opera, and the kids
She'd be
always
an
like.
absentee
Well, I don't know if she'd be there, but she'd be busy.
Right.
Okay.
Who are my other choices?
Eric
Eric.
or Maggie.
Or Maggie.
Well, Maggie would be great for
She'd
any
always
child.
be
I mean, how
fabulous,
loving
right?
and to be
Yeah.
in Maggie's gentle care would
Yes.
be rewarding
Wisdom.
for any. Yeah, and she's queen of the tears too. So
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot.
And she looks so
mess
beautiful.
with Maggie, always.
Always.
Rockette,
Yes,
Yes.
I know.
come on.
Yes.
And the legs still
The
look.
legs.
Forget about it. This woman's legs. Forget about it. Time has put too much distance between us. Otherwise, forget about it. I don't know who that was.
But
love
we
that.
enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm still Team Eric.
I'm Maggie.
You're Maggie?
Yeah.
Who are
I'm
you?
kind of Team Chloe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that
Well,
means Chloe and
I'm
Brady.
Team Chloe because Nicole clearly wanted Chloe to have the kid.
But
She
that was
wouldn't have written that
before.
letter.
She thought things were over with Eric. Eric was not in the picture at
I'm with
the
Tami.
time.
She still wrote
But
the
now
letter,
that
though. She
Eric-
still...
But she wrote the letter months before.
Months before,
Chloe
thinking-
and Holly already have like a natural bond because Chloe carried her. So there's gonna be
Yeah, that's true.
The surrogate.
there's gonna be something between them already that Holly's gonna probably be more comfortable
Well,
with.
can't they all
Chloe.
just figure it out and everybody
Well, I mean,
have a
that would
piece?
be the obvious solution, like
Ideal.
shared custody. But again, it's a soap opera.
Well,
it's not that
Surrogate
entertaining.
pulling rank again.
Yeah.
always.
So that's my rationale.
And there's definitely something between Maggie and Eric, not Maggie, Sarah and Eric that I like.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I like them as a couple.
Me too.
They're cute.
I
yeah.
can't. I love it.
ST.
I love them together.
I do. Better than Rex and Sarah. Brian.
But we didn't really get a lot of Rex and Sarah. We didn't get they were presented to us as an established couple. With Eric and Sarah, we're seeing like
Growth.
we're seeing like the growth,
The
the organic
organic.
growth
Our
of it. You
favorite
know what I
word.
mean? Like we saw with Ben and Ciara.
Right.
That helps so much when the writing does that and he builds it,
Oh,
and creates
absolutely.
it, and then
Yeah.
everyone just gets sucked up in it, and
Yeah.
then that's when you have the couple that
Yeah, and that's what's happening with Eric and
it
Sarah.
works. Yeah.
Oh, we're soaking it up like a sponge. Thank you.
Wow.
All right, moving right along to the next one. We're gonna breeze right through this
Yes.
today
Ma'am.
so that we can talk all about Brian. And,
Oh no. Let's
And
take
get-
longer.
get to
Let's
him.
take longer.
No.
Let's milk it.
Abigail, Chad, Gabby, Stefan, and Julie.
Oh, Julie, my love.
I love that they brought Julie into this
Julie, my
storyline.
love.
I
Me
love that
too.
Julie was like on every day, and she was a prominent character every day, and she was just busting into places.
Getting it done.
Yes.
And yeah,
I liked that they gave a nod to her 50-year reunion.
It's so beautiful.
And they gave
Yeah.
a flashback of when she first started the show. I do like that they also integrated her into the storyline and that Abigail felt comfortable enough with her to say, no, I'm not Gabby.
Right.
I'm so happy.
actually Abigail.
yeah,
That she has an ally.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
And
she needs
knew
that.
Oh my
that,
gosh.
they have a mutual enemy.
Yeah. Well, Gabby is sloppy.
Yeah.
Like you would think she would have learned from being with Kate and Sammy.
No,
how to
she's
be
no
a
Kate and
better-
Sammy yet. No,
No.
she's not on their level. She's trying. She'll get there.
No, she
but
is sloppy.
no.
Let me tell you.
Even Kate can't handle her anymore. Like Kate's just always frustrated with her. Like That's what you did, really?
I feel like Kate's face to Gabby is always like, whatever, bitch, fine. Whatever you say, it's not gonna work, but whatever. Like,
I know
sure.
Kate's basically letting her make her own bed. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, cool. Tidbits.
Rafe, Hope, Ted, Ben, and Stefan.
How do we feel about this whole Hope Ted?
I'll watch it, but I'm not too invested in it yet.
I don't know if there's anything to be.
Right, because there's nothing
At
really
this
to be
point, it's
invested
done.
in yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I just want to know who did the fire.
Yeah, I
was
think
Ben.
so too.
You think it was Ben?
I think it was Ben.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
it was
stand by my prediction.
I don't
that
know,
it
I
was
think they-
Ben.
Because
I
he
don't know.
verbally did say this week that he didn't do it. So once he gave that verbalization,
Right, but when he
it's
looked in
like,
Ciara's
okay.
eyes, he couldn't say he didn't do it.
I don't know. I think they're prolonging this. I just want to know who set the fire, so that way Hope can be like, "Oh, you didn't do it," boom, and then like we
Or
can
be like,
just
you
kinda
did do
move
it,
on.
you're going back to prison.
Boom,
Well,
like
if he did do it, he was off his meds. So
boom.
Well, I know,
Let's
that's
do
that
it.
whole thing. He's not
Yeah.
really going to go to
We'll
prison because he
see.
was sick and all that stuff. But
Like-
I think he set the fire.
Like which way we going? Because I just need to know at this point.
But I love the cosmopolitan flair of Gilles Marini. I hope he sticks around a little while longer. I like him in the middle between Rafe and Hope. I like that.
I like when Rafe gets a little rattled.
Yeah,
I like to see that cage
shake
get
it,
rattled.
right? Yeah.
Because he's always so cool. You know, he needs
Exactly.
something to
Yeah.
kind of mess up his hair
that
a little.
punch was
I mean,
kind of weird, though. That
The punch looked a little
punch.
awkward. It was a little awkward.
I
It
don't
was
know about that.
it was an awkward punch.
It was
Well,
awkward,
man,
but-
like he didn't step in when he was supposed to.
There you
I was
go.
like, what, bro? Man, my arm didn't extend the way it usually does.
It
Man.
was
I
like
just
this,
whoa, bro, I had it, man. And then they took the wrong take, bro. I was just so upset, man.
Oh my God.
Galen, what's the matter? I don't want to talk about it, bro.
Brilliant.
is
I love
hilarious.
that.
Yeah, that's him.
That's Galen.
That's him.
All right, Sierra and Julie.
Again, Julie just busting into places that, you know, she was not necessarily invited to, but telling Ciara how she felt about
Yeah.
her and Ben and not favorable. And that's how the week started out with Julie.
She lays it all out, though.
She does.
She does. She's
you
like,
know?
I mean,
does.
she's Julie. She doesn't give two F's.
But still, it's kind of like, okay, yes, we know that he was a serial killer. Yeah, we know he killed all these people. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But at what point are we... I mean, look at all the other stuff that people have done in Salem.
And it's
Yeah.
been forgiven and forgotten and
Right.
Yeah.
And,
And
we,
you don't get
and
to
we
that
pressed
point.
on.
They were expensive neckties. They weren't just run-of-the-mill neckties. They were-
Didn't you use the same one?
I think they put me in the exact necktie that Will was killed in one day.
stop
Oh my
it.
God.
And wardrobe was like, "Oh, we might have made a mistake." I was like, "Ah, it doesn't. No one's gonna know." They're like, "Everyone's gonna know."
Yeah.
You crazy.
Yeah. Can't wear the same necktie that Will was killed in.
Yeah, and I think I actually did for an episode wear the exact same necktie that Will was.
Oh, I love that. That's
I-
a good scoop.
I guarantee you,
Buzz on that.
someone is going to find that episode
Yes.
and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going to tweet it to us.
Okay, dig
Watch.
it up.
Watch. It's going to happen. All right. Kayla, Steve, and Trip. Basically, Steve is like, I'm not coming back
No, it's not.
because
And
he needs to figure out.
And Trip didn't know
What
any of
happened?
this yet, so
No.
Kayla filled him in.
And Trip need to shave. I didn't like that
Yeah,
peach fuzz he's got going on.
Yeah, all young men do that.
Yeah,
they try
whatever.
to they
Needs
try
to
to
go.
enter the manhood of facial hair on.
It's not gonna work. It's not ever
When you're
gonna
that
work.
young, you should have nothing on your face but just your youngness.
Your youngness.
Yeah.
Let your youngness shine. Why?
Let
why-
it all
The
shine.
bare youngness.
Yeah, don't.
The bear youngness.
His name is Lucas, so I have a special spot.
Well, as you should.
Yeah.
All right. And then you left.
Lucas leaves Salem at
Which,
6.
know.
you know, we talked about a little while ago that it was a great send off as opposed to just you. I like that they had you kind of go around and say your
Right.
goodbyes to
Yeah.
everyone. And that
Because
started.
Lucas is one of those characters that's related to like 90% of Salem
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
of his Horton ties.
He's got
and,
history.
The other family. What's the other family?
Brady's?
Brady's.
Is Lucas a Brady?
Oh, Roberts.
No.
Robert.
Robert.
Reeds.
Roberts.
Lucas
Robert.
is somehow related to half of Salem, so it was nice to see him.
Yeah.
Like you said, go around and like touch every family basically.
Yeah.
Because she came looking for Jennifer, but he got Doug and Julie and JJ and
You have quite an
Eli
extended
and-
family.
right.
really
That's
Yeah.
Don't forget, Kyriakis was my stepfather all those years when
That's
I first
right.
started. That's
Yeah.
where I was. That's. playing tennis with him in the back and our ascots.
I did enjoy that they allowed you to hang your ornament on the Horton
One last
tree.
time for old time's sake.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That's a
The ornament part is my favorite part of the show. It always has been.
Yeah.
During the
Yeah.
holidays, yeah.
Yeah, since I watched back in the day.
So much tradition and yeah.
Yeah, so it was easy to kind of feel nostalgic about it.
Sentimental, yeah. You didn't have to dig too hard.
I was trying to save tears. I was like, save a couple.
I noticed you got a little choked up in Horton Town Square when you kissed the Tom and Alice
A
little.
little bit. Did you see my Sammy Sosa send off?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did
I saw that too. Yeah.
Wasn't in the script.
Genius.
Method
Just
actor.
genius.
That's why I have no nominations.
They're coming. They're coming. Before we get into our quick interview with Bryan, Tami, we have some quick business to take care
Some
of.
business, After Buzz TV business. So everyone, want to make sure that you know that here at the network, we are producing after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV programs. We've got dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and a whole long list of other shows. There truly is no network that works harder to serve television fans. So we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Now, subscribing to our channels will also help you discover new shows pretty sure you're going to love. Since you're already tuned into drama, which is where DISHIN Days is labeled under, you might also be interested in Better Call Saul, Greenleaf, Orange is the New Black, and Yellowstone. Remember, we have channels for other genres too, so don't be shy about subscribing to them as well. And those notifications, if you're worried about them, don't be, because they're optional. It's easy. You just hit that subscribe button and have an easy breezy AfterBuzz TV experience. If you do, let us know in the comments and we'll thank you on the air. We want to thank you for being the best friends, and we will do our best to continue serving you all the time.
This announcement brought to you by the kind folks of AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you.
And now the moment we've been waiting for, all about Bryan. Bryan, these are the days of your life.
No.
Bryan Datillo, these truly are
Yes.
the days of your life.
I feel like this is a roust or some kind
It's like all of a sudden there's a roast.
Yeah.
of a roast and a
If
roust.
John Nichols was still around,
You're
he'd
gonna
be
roast
bursting through the
roust
door.
Come on down.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, first off, we'll start with mine. So we all found something that
Okay.
was very interesting about you.
Okay.
That maybe many people don't know.
All right.
Mine is that back in 2000, somebody produced a little EP album of all rap songs. That's right. Bryan
Rap.
Datillo.
R.A.P.
Did you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And it's called Still Getting Paid.
Yeah. The checks
Bryan
didn't,
Datillo.
come on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks really cool. I think Charles Riley did a really good job with that. My old manager did all that artwork. He took a picture of sunset and put me on the billboard, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Except for the first picture had a red light, and I said it's got to be a green light
because we're going.
yeah,
we're still
going
getting paid.
places.
Well, for the people, I decided that we had to take a listen to one of the tracks that's called
fine. Just listen quick.
Last Name Detillo, First Name Bryan. It's a smooth beat, though.
It
Right?
is.
Thank you. That's John, by the way.
Produced by John.
Produced by John.
See, and I remember when you gave this to me at a fan event.
Oh, there we go.
Something you like Mel Gibson and ransom. I'll be like, back my son. That's all I say on the TV.
The name is Lucas Roberts and the game is scheming daily. Like rocks with vanilla stony. Yes.
Oh, you still know it.
I know
That is
everything.
fantastic.
I wrote this. Of course I know
I was
it.
gonna say, he probably doesn't forget.
I love that. So many of you didn't know that. There's a whole thing here.
It's a whole thing.
I feel like I have a piece of Bryan Datillo history in my
That will
hand.
never
There was actually
go
a second
away.
album, but it didn't really make it to the album stage because that cost me like $25,000 for no reason. But the second one actually had a song in a movie, Dirty Deeds with
With Adam Sandler?
Nah, it was the Dirty Deeds with the girl from Party of Five. Like it was like I don't know, one of those cable movies that went straight to cable or something. But my song actually made it in there. And that was Italian Click Gang Mafioso.
Oh,
That's what y'all can't handle.
I was at the fan event that you like performed it.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah, you don't look too happy
Wait.
about it.
What? No.
He's like, yeah, I was there and I
was
forgot
there.
it the next day. No, it's just something that was fun, to do.
Yeah.
And I always like to roll around in my own car and hear my own
Beat.
voice. So egocentric as a youngster. So full of myself. But it was
of us
fun,
are.
and I did. It was one of those things where you're like, I don't know if I could do it. And people are like, you'll never do that, and that's not you. And
Well,
And
Then
now
I
you
just-
did it.
This is
Now
all
you
the more
have.
reason.
proof is
Yeah.
in the pudding.
Yeah.
He did it, y'all.
Put it in
You
that
had
pudding.
fun. Sounds like you had fun.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was fun.
One other thing
They're
that
coasters now.
oh perfect. Tammy,
Yes.
you found something interesting about
What do you got,
Bryan.
Tammy?
Yeah. So, not necessarily the news.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's how I got
So
started.
that was your first gig. But how
Yeah.
old were you?
I was little.
You're a little baby.
I think
littler
check
than
that.
this. So
I
this
was
is
littler than that.
Littler than this, but
Yeah,
I
I
love this.
think
this
there I
we're-
might have been like 14.
Headshots were black and white back
15.
then.
Yeah, of course. TV was black and white back then. No. I think I started when I was 8, and
Wow.
not necessarily the news.
Was it HBO?
Was HBO and produced by Pat Turk Lee, and she was my best friend's mom. And one day she said, "Do you
great.
want to be on our show?" Because I was an actor and I had all the, I was in the union and I had all the paperwork I needed. And it was a little skit about E.T. It was called The Drunken Terrestrial, DT. And I was Elliot, and I had a bowl haircut. And I think that's why I got it, because I had a bowl haircut. But I ended up doing like 20 episodes for him.
Oh my
So it was
gosh.
really fun in the, early 80s.
Yeah.
To kind of do that stuff was fun.
Awesome.
Doing stuff as a kid, it's so, because you don't have the filters, you don't have the sensors in your brain. You're just having a good time. You're just being a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it was fun. my uncle used to take me on jobs, and he used to sit with me, and then if he didn't like the way things were going, he would just take me home. And my mom would like, "You can't do that. He got the job. You can't just take him home." I didn't like how people were treating him. People were talking to him
God.
weird. And we didn't need to be a part of that. She's like,
so
"No,
funny.
that took 4 months to get. Don't do that."
And your mom's always been super supportive of you when you were as a
Always,
kid.
yes,
Yeah.
always. She's
That was a
always
huge
been
factor.
very supportive. She was in the business and kind of got us into it. Bribed me with baseball cards and football cards. to be
See,
an
she
actor.
knows.
Yeah, she knows. She did.
knows.
She
Look
did
at
good.
that long-standing
She did good.
career.
Yeah.
All right. Another fun fact. Your sister Kristen is also an actress.
She is?
Or an actor.
Yeah.
You're not an actress. She's an actress. But she had a role on Friends.
She did.
She did. She was a pizza delivery girl that Ross flirted with
Yes.
and failed miserably, and we have a clip of that right now.
Yeah.
But no,
that's
she,
it.
Because I
she
was
was
really
like,
uncomfortable.
in that episode throughout the whole thing. She
She
wasn't
was.
just on for that moment. Yeah.
No, she was queen of episodic. She used to do a lot of that stuff. And I was actually there at that taping.
Oh
Were
yeah.
you?
Okay.
yeah.
I was there at that
Were you
taping.
a fan of the show? Like, did you
Friends?
watch? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you friends?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God,
Oh.
such a great show.
Like
I
millennial.
think I told John
millenn-
Aniston once that I wanted to date his
Oh.
daughter. It's like, there's no way you're dating my daughter. And, please, can I just take her out on one date, see if she likes me? And he was like,
awesome.
that's not gonna happen.
I didn't know that you did Saved by the Bell. You did the second episode of the first season of Saved by the Bell.
I did California Dreams.
Oh, they had you listed on Saved by the Bell too.
I know, because I looked like this kid who was on Saved by the Bell, but I was never on Saved by the Bell.
Correction.
California Dreams.
Reach- Retraction.
I remember California Dreams.
California
I used to watch that.
Dreams. Yep.
That was a good one.
I
Now,
don't think I was on Saved by the Bell. I was on Charles in Charge.
Charles in Charge.
yes, and Doogie Howser.
And Doogie Howser, MD, with my 2 lines.
Hey, that's two
Those
more than
are
what I've
hard.
ever gotten.
Still getting paid.
The
Yep.
less the lines, the harder it is.
That's it right here. So, all right. So you've been playing Lucas for 25 years.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Pat Muldoon called it.
What? What did
You're
you
gonna
say?
be playing Lucas your whole life. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go on there. I'm gonna do movies. I'm gonna be a huge star. No way. No. You're gonna be Lucas your whole life. So he's right. Pat Muldoon is right.
But you also done other stuff. So technically
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's kind of like
I'll
that
take
job
it.
that
I'll
yeah,
take. Don't,
of course.
don't get me wrong. I'll be Lucas forever if that's what I'm supposed to do and what
Well-
I'm supposed to be. That's
Fans would be ecstatic about that.
Yes.
Because I mean, what you bring to the show is amazing. Like especially when you were going through the whole like alcohol thing, like the past year, and dealing with the death of Will and like all that kind of stuff. I thought that was like some great work.
Those
that
scenes
you
last
had.
year in the church when Lucas
Yeah.
saw Will, and that was the first time we saw Chandler again
Yeah.
as Will. They were heartbreaking and they were very intense, and it was amazing work.
Oh, thanks.
And it's like I was saying, like, this is why he needs to be on the show
Yes.
like all
Mm-hmm.
the time, because you're an amazing talent,
You always
and you
bring
just
it,
it adds to the show, you know.
well. Thank you.
What are some of your most memorable scenes from doing the show? Or storylines? Because there have been some doozies.
Yep.
The deep emotional stuff I kind of zone out in. So like I get home and I'm like, did I just do that? I feel like I went too far on that. So those aren't. I mean, those are definitely rewarding to do, but I like the fun stuff more and the stuff that's lighter and it brings out the humor and the fact that what we do.
Yeah.
Like seeing Tony get mauled by a tiger was fun.
Oh.
In the
Yeah.
circus. And
Yeah.
coming out of the clown car and
Oh my gosh.
just real fun,
taking it
stupid
back.
stuff. Yeah. But I would say like a lot of stuff with Will, finding out that Will was my child way back was kind of cool. I used to love the scenes when I fought with Austin Peck or Pat Muldoon. When we used to brother go at it.
Quite
Yeah.
a few.
That was
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun being in all those triangles. That was always cool. And I love working with Lauren Kozlow. So anytime I work with her is always, I know it's going to be.
What did you love? What do you love so much about it?
She's just such an emotional well. Like she never runs out of an emotion. She's always ready to have a great performance. That's someone who's so overdue for an Emmy.
Yeah.
Lauren Kozlow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And before her, it was Deborah Adair who had the same kind of quality, which was just everything was just at the surface, and all it took was one little layer, and then it was right there.
Nice.
So I think that those two, working with them and kind of trying to emulate some things that
I
they
was
do.
gonna say it just
Yeah.
kind of raises the bar.
It does,
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me World 2 in our chat wants to know what was your favorite storyline with Alison Sweeney?
Oh, and I loved that was the fun stuff working with Allie all the time.
Yeah.
When we were really young, I look back at some of those and I'm like, I cannot believe that was us. I can't believe I talked like that. Why does my voice sound like that? But anytime, like working with her, I remember we did these scenes where we were on this playground area and I was trying to tell her about how experienced, Austin was compared to her and how she wasn't. And she was so golden back then. I mean, she's golden all the time, but like so pure as a 16-year-old girl, and captured that perfectly because that's who she was. And then to see her grow into this big, mega star that she is now and command like all the. She's just a very talented person to have on the set, and has a lot that she can do, and behind the camera, in front of the camera, there's nothing she can't do. So it's always fun working with her. It's always fun to
Because
think about her as that 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I always felt like Lucas and Sammy should have just ended up together. And I know
I thought
Jamie
that
fans
too.
I was
are
kind
going to
of
be
hoping
really
that was going to
upset.
happen because we heard 6 months ago it was revealed that you were leaving.
Right.
But then at the same time, we knew that Sammy was coming back.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe this is finally their off into the sunset
Moment,
But
yeah.
No.
Because, I always felt like out of everyone that both you and Sammy had been with, I thought you two understood each other the most.
Oh,
Most,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And accepted each other the most
Yeah.
unconditionally.
Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, despite the tumultuous stuff that happened years ago, it was always Sammy and Lucas.
Yeah.
I thought Lucas put his cards on the table pretty good when she picked EJ over him that last time when she split
Yeah.
town with him.
Yeah.
And at that point, I thought, well, he kind of told her how he felt, and it was right there for her, and she chose to be
Yeah.
somebody else. So for him, I think for Lucas, the character, there's a ton of unfinished business for him there.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one thing he probably never got over, and he's probably like, doesn't really take a lot seriously after that with women,
Okay.
because he's probably been burned by that.
Yeah, you're shut down.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the list of women that Lucas has been, it's a little extensive. I went back and reviewed. There was Carrie,
Yeah.
Sammy, Nicole, who Kate paid to be with you,
Yeah.
Chloe,
Thank God it wasn't Bonnie.
right?
Bonnie.
Well,
Wait, he was with
No, no.
well, Adrian,
not
but
really.
I was with Bonnie.
he was with
Yeah,
Bonnie,
he was with
who
Bonnie. I
thought
think I was.
that was Adrian. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's how the lie of the baby came about.
Right.
But-
the baby wasn't real.
baby
but
wasn't
Right.
real.
They,
But
yeah.
this, I think the sex was.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
It was really good, she said.
And then there was Autumn. I forgot about Autumn.
Autumn,
Like when
yeah.
you came back to Salem, you were engaged. And I remember thinking like, oh, great, there's someone else that he can like be with that's not involved in Salem. And then they did away with that. And I was like, oh, he's going to be single forever.
He was with Jordan's friend. That just clicked. Jordan's friend. That.
Autumn, right?
Jade Hartlow.
Well, that's the actress's name. What was the character's name?
The character's
Her.
name was Jade Hartlow played.
Someone in the chat knows.
I know this. I know this. I had it.
Cheryl?
Yes, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Oh.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. That's who it was.
Yep, Cheryl.
For you as an actor, was there ever like a scene or storyline where you felt like, oh man, like I really get to really show my acting chops in this particular moment?
The emotional stuff with Will, finding out, that he was dead and seeing his ghost and all that stuff and doing the alcohol thing was probably the most in-depth kind of stuff I've had to do. So I would
Yeah.
say that. But I always thought that I poured it on too much. I was like, nah, I can't. It can't make it too real. There always has to be some kind of limit to how much you give with the real emotional stuff. So if anything, I've learned that not to go. Don't overextend yourself trying to make it something that you know it should be.
Yeah.
If it's there, great. But if don't try to.
I think you had us all in tears when well, that whole storyline was just, we were all in shock when they were like, Will is going to die at the hands of the necktie killer. We were like, not Will. Like,
Yeah.
Like, everybody else, we were like, oh, poor them. But then Will, it was like, oh, no. And then when you found out, and then like that scene, I still remember the scream that you like belted out. And I was just like, oh, I was like, oh, it got real. Like Lucas, normally there's like some like little playfulness with Lucas, but like, no, it's like, it got real. It's like, oh my, Hail Mary, like to everybody, like really quick. So that was like, it's always fun to have you in like those non-serious moments, but it was like, man.
I like when people are uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I took them somewhere they didn't want to go, but sometimes you have to go
Yeah.
to that.
And I also love the whole rescuing Chloe storyline.
That one killed me.
I know.
How come I didn't go to rescue her?
I know.
That crushed
It's
my
like-
soul
but
as a man.
I love that you never gave up. You always knew that this wasn't right. Something was wrong. She wouldn't be. This isn't right. I love that you
and then
never
when it
gave
got
up.
time to go and saddle up, I'm like, I'm gonna let John go. I'm gonna let Paul handle this. I always thought, man, he should have gone at least in like an undercover
Yeah.
thing, like put Lucas in undercover first as the bait, and
Yeah.
then bring in the hard guns to like tie the knot up. I was like, man, they missed with, and it made me look so like. They're handling it. I was like, I've been neutered again. I can't believe it.
So we always, well, especially me, I always, obviously, as you could see earlier, I always write myself into the show.
Right.
Was there any storyline that you were like, oh man, I wish like Lucas could do it this way rather than that way? Or like a way, like was there ever a storyline that you would have liked for it to go completely different than what it did?
Well, there's been a lot of them, but I always kind of like how they put Sammy in the know with everything, and then they give her like little things that other people don't know that she follows up on, and that's something we used to do together, kind of like as a team, is figure out like how to get around these things that we're not going to the police, we're going to do it ourselves. And we used to do, and she's always great at that, and she's always taken on the villains when she doesn't have any chance, and I always thought Lucas should be kind of in on that. Like that's kind of like what he was all about. I always liked when Jack was like the scoop guy when he was working
For the Spectator?
The Spectator. I always thought Lucas would be good as like a spectator type,
Yeah.
snooping in and out of things, and oh no, Lucas is here, hide, he's gonna tell. What are you guys up to? Something like that.
Lucas should have been the tea spiller instead
Yeah, I
of
know. I was
Chloe.
just thinking that.
I know.
Right?
I deem Chloe as the tea spiller because everyone keeps going to her and telling her stuff, and she just sits there with all this information, and
Yep.
like
And
sometimes
then eventually
uses it and
just is
doesn't.
like, look, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives fan talk Melissa wants to know, do you remember when you and Allie played hopscotch on Days?
Yes, that's what I was talking about that scene earlier when we were on we were on like a park playground area, and we started on the swing, and she was on the swing, and then I'll never forget Herb Stein, the director, "You're gonna play hopscotch," and I'm like, "We're gonna what?" "You're gonna play hopscotch." Oh no, wait, hopscotch was actually in the square, I believe. Or it could have been that one in the park. I don't know. I think we might have played hopscotch twice.
Oh, wow.
That
Oh
was
no,
the
we
thing.
played basketball once in the square, 1-on-1, and I made all the shots.
Of course, of course.
But and then I think we did the hopscotch thing, and I think that was when Herb was directing it, and you're gonna play hopscotch. And I was like in the middle of the scene, and they're like, yeah, in the middle of the scene, I'm gonna teach you how to play hopscotch, and she's gonna teach you how to play hopscotch. And I was like, well, I know how to do it, It was very funny. I actually liked that episode a lot.
How was it working with Judy Evans? Because I know she is such an amazing woman, and like you guys were just paired, together.
Right.
So how was it working with her?
Oh,
and being paired with her.
She's a master.
Yeah.
She's actually. I mean, she's earned every Emmy she's ever gotten. She's just. I remember watching her on One Life to Live before I was on Days and thinking, what a great actress.
Yeah.
I can't. This girl's got like a fire and a passion and a thing in her that is just fun to watch. So working with her and having that be thrown at me, it was really fun. She was great. Judy is amazing. She's such an amazing person. Everyone who's ever met Judy loves Judy because they all know that's who she is.
Yeah.
But as an actress, so professional, so prepared, so... Do you want to run? You want to run again?
Yeah,
You want to run lines?
ready to play.
Let's run lines. Come on. All right, let's run some lines. No, it's going to be fun. Come on. Let's have a good time today. Let's make it really happen, okay? It's going to be fun scenes. I was like, okay, let's do it. But she's great, and then she has that ability to be so emotional, too. A drop of a hat. So
Yeah.
she's a pro, man. I'm very lucky. I've gotten to work with a lot of very talented women. So I'm very lucky with that.
Terrell Bellinger wants to know, this is the second part of his question, what advice would you give the younger cast members? Because when you started Days, they had created a teen scene with like you and Carrie and Austin and Sammy. Now we have a younger teen scene with like Sierra and Claire and Tripp and all them. As you see like these newer younger actors and
don't break
actresses
your
come in.
mic,
I
Tom.
know, I'm just always breaking stuff. As they come in, like what advice would you give them, especially with your history with the show?
Watch how you spend your money.
Right?
Watch
Smart
how you
advice.
spend your money. Because sometimes God plays a trick on you and gives you all that money when you're young
Yeah.
and tests you. So don't go to Vegas like I always did. Wearing a Vegas t-shirt right now. Don't do that. I would say don't always assume that main huge storyline is always going to be there for you, so really make the most out of it. I can tell you how many times I was doing other things other than studying when I probably should have been studying the night before. So definitely, do the homework that it takes to do the good work so you can know the lines and fly instead of just going through the motions of a scene.
Yeah.
Such good
Appreciate
advice.
it.
That's
Appreciate it, and keep working out.
Yeah.
Keep working out.
All right. Well, before we have to wrap things up, oh my God, this time went by
How
so
did
quick.
this
Yeah.
happen?
It's like you blink and the show's over. We have a preview of what's to come next week on Days of Our Lives.
My God, Chad is the father of the baby, and you didn't tell him.
Oh my gosh.
Days, NBC Weekly.
No.
Why does everyone fall? You know what? I'm going to tell you this. If I get on that show, I better not fall down a flight of stairs. Like everyone falls downstairs.
I've never fallen downstairs, I don't think.
Well, be careful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful
thanks.
what you ask for.
Be careful.
Yeah.
You'll go back the next time, and next thing you know, you're gonna read that script, and it's gonna be like Lucas falls down the stairs, and you're like, oh, well, that's it. That's it. That is it.
I'll be happy.
So, but before we head out, you know, we know that you've left the show, and you've left the show many a times. Are there any regrets that you always leave with, or ever feel like, oh man, I wish I had done this before this time I got
No, not really any regrets. Just that the only hard part is that's become the pattern.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 7 times, and I'm like, oh. And they call me, and they're like, you know you're in trouble, and they're like, can we talk to you for a second? And they start to talk to you on the set, and they're like, let's go into your room for a second. You're like, oh, not my room again. Yeah. And he's like, well, it's that time again. I'm like, oh, that time again? Really? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, darn. But when they ask you to go, you got to go home. And when they ask you to come back, you come back. That's just what I do. But I think, you know, the pattern is probably the most regretful part, because this is the 7th time, and I'm like, oh, man. And then I did go back recently for 3 episodes, which is great.
Yeah.
But now I don't know if I'm going back or what, because it's still left up in the air. So now I'm just waiting on the email and the phone call.
Well, if fans have anything to say about it, you know, we'll keep rooting for Lucas to
Let's
come
do
back.
it.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like there's so much they can do with Lucas.
Absolutely,
Like, you know,
yeah.
I feel like
So
you know,
much
there's
potential, possibilities.
meddling.
Yes.
Maybe Lucas should realize he really truly does love Sammy and try to go after her.
Done.
There we
Bam.
go. I'm there for
Bam.
that. And
Bushkata.
Terrence will come with you, and we'll figure.
You better.
We'll figure it out together.
I'm not going back unless you come with me.
Ah, there we go. You heard it right here. We're
2
coming
for
back
1.
together, y'all. All right. Well, before we head out, Michael.
Yes.
Let the kind folks know where they can find you on the social medias.
You can find me on Instagram at mlmattis and on Twitter at mlmattis1.
Tammy.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia, and on Insta and Facebook, Tami Goveia Official.
Now, Brian, if they want to,
Mr.
you know,
Bryan.
follow you and keep up with you while you're on your just slight hiatus, we're going to call it a slight
Sabbatical.
hiatus.
Right.
Yeah, where can they find you?
I do the Twitter thing, and I think there's an underscore in my name. You guys reminded me of that.
At Bryan_Detillo.
Yes.
And then there's an Instagram thing I just did, but it's not very big, but it's fun, and you should check it out. And it's just my name. It's not verified, so. But it's me. You'll see my face.
Yeah.
You'll know it's me.
And of course, you guys can find us on Instagram and Facebook, Dishin Days, or on Twitter, _Dishin Days. And you can find little old me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see
Thanks,
you guys
guys.
next
Thank
week.
you.
Oh, no,
No,
we
they
won't.
won't.
Oh, no.
Happy holidays. This is
Happy
it.
holidays.
See you in
This is it.
2019.
2019's coming.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.